It was the night before football, and all through the house, the Lions are going to play tomorrow, and the Rams will be a little mouse. I don't know if that makes sense, but let's talk about Lions football.
Elbow, forearm, he's going to be down.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
The flag that was thrown on this was picked up.
I don't know, did it get the face mask?
Only do that if you're telling the official you're reporting.
The Lions hangover. All right, welcome everybody to the first official, what is this? This is the pregame episode, right? The preview, the Lions versus Rams rematch from last year's playoff game, and possibly, just possibly, a preview of the NFC Championship game. Both of these teams could make it to the NFC Championship. That's possible. Definitely a preview of a playoff matchup. This is going to be a strong team right off the get-go for the Lions to play. I am your host, Brad. This is, of course, the Lions Hangover Podcast. Don't forget to find me on all social medias. Please subscribe. Definitely rate 5 stars. That definitely helps me grow the show. I'm on X, Instagram, and Facebook. All right, as I make these noises, let's talk about what happened last time. The last time the Lions played, Jared Goff led the Lions to their first playoff win in 32 years. This is a feat that not even Matthew Stafford could accomplish. His punk butt. And in those 32 years, the Lions only made the playoffs 9 times. They, of course, won that game 24-23. Currently, the last I saw, which was today, probably about a half hour ago, the Lions are favored by 4.5 points. I think this is from ESPN Bet. Defensively, I guess this is the defensive story, but we're going to talk about what the Rams did offensively. Stafford was able to throw for 367 yards. He was 25 of 36 with 2 touchdowns, and he had a quarterback rating of a whopping 120 yards. 120. That was his quarterback rating. Kieran Williams, he ran for 67 yards on 13 attempts. Puka Nacua had 9 catches on 10 targets for 181 yards, 1 touchdown with a long of 50 yards. There's a reason I'm telling you all of these stats, just so you guys know. I know it's old news now, though. Tutu Atwell had the other touchdown from Stafford, and Cooper Kupp had only 5 receptions and only 27 yards. 5 receptions is good. 27 yards is garbage. And their kicker at the time, Brett Maher, who I don't think is on the roster anymore, he did go 3 for 3 on the field goals. But the Rams only had 2 punts. So what does this mean? The Lions are going to need to shut down Puka Nacua this time around. You cannot continue to let a wide receiver get 181 yards. You cannot let them get 9 catches. That's pretty pathetic. So the Lions overhauled the Amik Robertson. He's going to have his work cut out for him. Terrion Arnold is going to have his work cut out for him. Rakestraw is going to have his work cut out for him. Brian Branch is going to have his work cut out for him. That is for sure. They're also going to need to keep Cooper Kupp irrelevant. 5 catches, that's fine. I don't really care about the catches. It's the yards. It's the production. Okay, if you can keep Cooper Kupp to another 27 yards, I think things are looking good. The thing is, you need to keep Puka Nacua. You can't have a receiver go over 100 yards. You just can't. So hopefully the Lions defense, the much revamped and improved Lions pass defense, will be able to shut them down. The Rams run game is not much of a threat, but we will see the Michigan alum Blake Corum make his debut, and he could actually be the Rams' secret weapon. I mean, we don't really know what kind of a player Blake Corum is going to be in the NFL. He is also going to be returning kicks for the Rams, so that's something to look forward to with the new kickoff rule. The offensive story for the Lions, though, Goff went 22 of 27 for 277 yards and 1 touchdown with a quarterback rating of 121.8. Just slightly better than Stafford. He was sacked 3 times. Of course, the 1-2 combo of Montgomery and Gibbs, they both had touchdowns. Montgomery ran for 57 yards on 14 tries, and Gibbs had 25 yards on 8 carries. However, Gibbs also had 4 catches for 43 yards. So, pretty good day for both of them. It was well-balanced for both of those guys. I love what they bring to the table. Of course, the man himself, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he had 110 yards on 7 catches. No touchdowns, though. The touchdown from Goff went to Sam Laporta, but he only had 3 catches for 14 yards. And don't forget, former Lions kicker Michael Badgley had a 54-yard field goal, too. All right. That was a good kick by Badgley. I remember that, too. I was at that game. So the Lions are going to have to protect Goff. They have to keep him upright. Not too worried about this as the defensive front for the Rams are a little bit depleted without Aaron Donald. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And they got to keep Gibbs and Montgomery balanced. I am curious to see how Sione Vaki is going to fit into this offense. I can't imagine that he's going to take any time away from Montgomery and Gibbs unless, man, you keep hearing it. I keep hearing it. I keep thinking it, and the wide receiver room is a little bit thin. Are we going to see Gibbs go play the slot a little bit too? Is that a possibility? Is that something that could happen? How amazing would it be to have all 3 on the field at one time? I'm just curious to see exactly what role Vaki is going to have. And you got to get Laporta more involved. 3 catches. I mean, the 1 touchdown is great. He's reliable. Almost, I don't want to say that. I almost said almost as reliable as St. Brown, but that's not true. Nobody's more reliable than St. Brown. If it's a decent pass from Goff, Brown is catching it. He doesn't have drops. The man is amazing. I'd like to see, and Laporta is extremely dependable, extremely reliable. I would like to see him be more involved this time around for sure. And of course, don't forget Jameson Williams. He needs to start the season strong by having a statement game. He needs to stay healthy too. I swear, he's got such a thin build. I know he's athletic. I know he's strong, but he's got such a thin build. I just worry about his legs. I worry about his ankle. I worry about his knee. It's just something to pay attention to. If he gets injured, I just feel like it's going to be a lower body injury. He only had 2 catches for 19 yards last time these 2 teams played together. We need to have him get like 5 or 6 catches for 80 to 120 yards or more. Definitely or more. Oh, man. I would love to see 1 touchdown for all the receivers and 1 touchdown for all the running backs. How amazing would that be? Now you're talking fantasy football. Now you're talking Madden stats. Both teams are relatively healthy. DJ Reader is listed as questionable, but it is sounding likely that he's going to get the go-ahead. But he is. It sounds like he will have like a limited snap basis. Ifeatu Melifonwu is out with an ankle injury. He's listed as doubtful, which means he's likely not going to play. I think he's been having this injury for a little bit. I love Melifonwu, though. I hope he can find some playing time this season. I think he really stepped it up last year. I think there's a spot for him on this team. So, and there's going to be injuries in that backfield, that defensive backfield. Injuries are just part of the game. So if he can get healthy, just down the road, I can see him getting significant playing time as well. But hopefully, for the most part, we all stay healthy and we don't have to worry too much about the injuries. Also, safety, Lawrence Strickland is out with a thumb injury. He is just out. So we won't be seeing him at all. For the Rams, Jonah Jackson has been battling a shoulder injury. This is going to be key coming up. Puka Nacua has had knee issues. Offensive tackle Rob Havenstein is questionable with an ankle injury. And cornerbacks Tre'Davious White was listed with a non-injury. He's being rested. And Kobe Durant has hamstring issues. So we will see exactly what sort of roles all of these guys will play. Of course, we know that Jonah Jackson is a starting center for this game. This is something he hasn't done since college. I'm not sure how serious this shoulder injury is bothering him, but you have to think the Lions' defensive front, they are smelling some blood in the water, right? You have to think that this is green light go, baby. Red light destroy. Defensively for the Rams, we know that they lost Aaron Donald. He retired, so this is going to be a big hole for the Bobby Brown the third and Kobe Turner and Braden Fisk and the rest of the defensive line to fill. So you have to be optimistic if you have an offensive line like the Lions have. Blake Corum returning kicks. Those are all my notes. So I'm curious to see what effect Blake Corum will have. What kind of a weapon will he be? And how much will Stafford be able to? Will Stafford be able to continue his gunslinger role on the team? You cannot let Stafford throw for 367 yards. You can't let Stafford throw for 300 yards. You have to minimize, and you know he's going to have at least 30 attempts throwing the ball, right? At least 30 attempts throwing the ball. Right now, the Lions starters are Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown as your two wide receivers. You got Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow, Frank Ragnow, Kevin Zeitler, and Penei Sewell for the offensive line. You've got Sam Laporta, Khalif Raymond as wide receiver number 3. That's no surprise, really. David Montgomery is listed as the starter for tomorrow, with obviously Jahmyr Gibbs. Craig Reynolds is listed as the third string running back, and Sione Vaki as the fourth string. So that is interesting as well. Marcus Davenport, Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader is listed as a starter, and Aiden Hutchinson. I hope Marcus Davenport has a huge game. I would love to. We're not talking about him as much, but he's listed as the other starting edge on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. And, of course, you've got Alex Anzalone and Jack Campbell as your starting linebackers, along with Derek Barnes as well. Carlton Davis gets the start for the Lions in the cornerback field, along with Tyrion Arnold, and Ennis Rakestraw Jr. and Amik Robertson are going to be the backups. Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are your starting safety. And, of course, Jake Bates. So this is the depth chart listed. It is listed as the unofficial depth chart, but I don't really see anything changing for the Lions come Sunday night. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Man. Wow. We're a game away. What are predictions? What are your predictions? I see, of course, in the win-loss record episode just yesterday, that came out yesterday. If you haven't heard it, go for it. I feel like the Lions are going to go 13-4, but that's my personal belief. I have them winning 14-3, right? That's the record I have them at. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, I just don't see them going 14-3. So personally, I feel like they'll go 13-4, which is amazing. But yeah, that's it. When I broke down the schedule, 14-3 is what I saw. So, and of course, we already talked about it. I don't want to rehash it too much. Just go listen to the previous episode. But they're not going to do any worse than 11-6. So I feel like the Lions are going to win this game tomorrow. Between the two teams and the last time they played each other, I feel like they were really evenly matched last time, and I think the score reflected that. The outcome reflected that. I think this time, who got better, who stayed the same, who got worse. Okay? Nobody stayed the same between these two teams. This is the measurement tool I'm using this year. The Lions have gotten better. This will be my answer all year. They added depth on that defense. Depth. Okay? It's very important. They've got continuity on the offense. Consistency is what I meant as I learned how to speak today. Are we worried about rust? These guys really didn't play in the preseason. The offensive starters didn't really play in the preseason. Are we worried about rust? Is it going to take a quarter, 2 quarters, hopefully not 3 quarters for them to start gelling again? I hope not. I've heard over and over that practices have been great, that they've been practicing hard. They look great. I have to think with an improved defense that it's forcing the offense to become even better. Like they just battle off of each other, and the awesome offense is making the defense better. You know, like you're constantly playing an NFC championship caliber team in practice, right? That's an NFC caliber defense that the NFC championship caliber offense is playing against. So they're just battling each other. I got to think that that's going to make them better with the depth pieces they've added for defense and the continuity that they have on offense. I think they're going to pick up where they left off last year. I think the Lions are going to start strong this season. You know they are. You know they are. Dan Campbell is the man. Man, I love those Applebee commercials too. If you've not seen those, check those out. I feel it's... I'm running down the variables in my head right now. I think Nacua is going to have a modest game for the Rams. I think Cooper Kupp will have a better game this time around. I feel like both of those guys are going to have more than 80 yards reception. More than 80 yards. Okay, so that means Stafford's going to throw for 270 yards. He's going to have 2 touchdowns. I don't know who they're going to. This is just me talking out loud. This is my prediction. I don't worry about the Lions. I worry about the Rams because the Lions are going to be good. So the final score is going to be 33-20 in favor of the Lions. That's the score tomorrow. 33-20. That's my guess in favor of the Lions. So we will see if I am accurate. It's not going to be a close game, okay? To lose by 1 point twice in a row is very difficult. It's going to be close, I feel like, for the first 2.5 quarters. But by that third quarter, I don't know. I can't predict if the Lions are going to receive the ball or kick off for the second half. But I just feel like by the middle of that third quarter, they're going to pull away. They're going to finally pull away. The Rams are definitely going to punt more than 2 times. They better punt more than 2 times. Only 2 punts is you're having a good offensive day. So I need the Lions defense to cut them down a little bit more, which means the Lions offense is going to have the ball a little bit more. So this is where I'm getting the score. So 33-20. That's my prediction in favor of the Lions. We will find out if I'm right. This is all I'm doing. This is all I'm doing. So this is the preview episode, and then I will come back after the game within a day for the post-game show. So this is the pregame show, and we will come back for the post-game show after the game. God, go Lions. I hope everybody has a beautiful Sunday. Stay safe. Let's have fun. Let's break that decibel record at Ford Field. I will be there screaming my balls off, man. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see everybody there. I can't wait to smell the popcorn, the nachos, the hot dogs in the air, the football atmosphere. I just can't wait to hear the crowd. I'm going to take it all in. Can't wait. All right, 33-20. That is my prediction. Let's find out if I'm right. I will talk to you guys Monday. Have a good one.